Joining me now, Stephen Gardner. Subscribe to his YouTube channel, as so many do. Stephen Gardner 1 on YouTube. Stephen, how exactly does a country deal with the fact that we very clearly have areas of our country, large areas, that have separated? Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson had this to say.
We're signing an executive order aimed at reining in this out-of-control administration. The order establishes ICE-free zones. That means that city property and unwilling private businesses will no longer serve as staging grounds for these raids.
Our urban areas like Chicago are no longer part of the United States of America. We could stop pretending. How do we handle that?
So to me, this is very disturbing. I don't know how a mayor who has one of the worst polling data in America can suddenly say businesses that are unwilling don't have to cooperate with the president of the United States, don't have to cooperate with police, don't have to cooperate with ICE or the National Guard. Oh, we're writing off big swaths of Chicago that don't have to obey the law when it comes to the federal government. So I guess if they're going to cut off access to an area, maybe it's time to cut off access to the funds that they are getting, because they're taking in billions and billions of dollars of federal money.
Okay, so why hasn't that happened? And I hate to even ask the question because I think I know the answer, but whenever the communists are in charge, they're more than willing to cut off places when they feel they want them cut off. When Republicans are in charge, it's a lot of threats. We're going to do this. We might do this. I swear it's coming, but it never actually comes at all. My tax dollars continue to flow to Chicago, and I want to know why.
I mean, the Democrat Party seems to be a chihuahua that barks and barks and actually bites you. And the Republicans are like this giant Saint Bernard. They have a lot of power, a lot of muscle behind them, but they don't do anything. It's really pathetic to me. I'm a big fan of President Trump, but when it comes to getting his people in place, actually cleaning up crime, I mean, Obama did more. Bill Clinton did more. So I'm ready to see a big change. I mean, just over the weekend, Jesse, you had federal agents that were attacked. A woman rammed her car into an ICE agent SUV, a federal vehicle. They then boxed this person in with, I think, 9 or 10 different cars. They had to call in the cavalry to come and help because the police chief literally put out an order over the police scanner saying, do not help any ICE agents. Do not help them. And then they had to bring in the reserves to help this agent out. And what do they find? They find the person that rammed into this ICE agent had a semi-automatic weapon ready to attack. So, I mean, it is time to send in the National Guard. And that's exactly what Trump wants to do. He's right now planning to send in 400 National Guard from the state of Texas. So now we were busing them illegals. We've got to bus in the National Guard to get them back out. I agree with you. I want to see more from this presidency, not less.
Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson also had this to say.
In the coming days and weeks, we may be pushed, if not forced, to take even more dramatic action if this administration continues to escalate and provoke our people. The extreme right in this country refuse to accept the results of the Civil War. They have repeatedly called for a rematch. But in the coming weeks, we will use this opportunity to build greater resistance. Chicagoans are clear. Militarizing our troops in our city as justification to further escalate a war in Chicago will not be tolerated.
Stephen, the last thing in the world I want to see is another civil war. It would be horrible beyond belief, but it's starting to seem like that's what they want.
Yeah, why are we even throwing out the Civil War as something that could happen again? To me, it's like 400,000 Americans died trying to reunite the Union, get rid of slavery, and now you've got people in Chicago. You know what I think it is, Jesse? I think the Democrats have actually brainwashed their own people. They're literally got them convinced it would be better to have illegal immigrants receiving thousands of dollars every month more than our retired people, than our veterans, to invade our cities. They would rather have that than to have the National Guard, to get rid of the murders, to clean up the illegal weapons, to get rid of the rapists. I mean, to me, it's crazy. I live in an area where we have 0 out of 100,000 murders a year. I can't imagine being in Chicago where it's literally in the hundreds. I don't know. I think maybe it's time to just leave them alone and they can just sit in their own filth. But if they are going to say it's time to escalate against the federal government, then the federal government needs to either go in heavy with more National Guard or do what they're doing to Vladimir Putin and others and cut off the money. That's my thoughts.
Letitia James in New York City had this to say. Let's switch gears here a little and talk about the political angle. Here she was at a rally.
Stand up to an administration which is too male, too pale, and too stale. Too male, too pale, and too stale. Too male, too pale, and too stale. And we will not go away silently.
Stephen, I know that plays really well with the street animals in New York City, and Letitia James is going to keep getting elected, but this kind of talk, this way of talking, is making the Democrat Party look like it's something on the way to extinction, and these people don't seem to care.
Yeah, I thought it was funny. The guy standing next to her with the biggest smile, he looks pretty male and pale and stale himself, but they like to come up with these chants, and it does well with the New York audience. But the reality is Letitia James is likely on her way to jail for mortgage fraud. The documents are out there. I don't know what's going to happen to New York City. The other thing that is very disturbing is you've got the mayor of Chicago and the highest lawyer in New York, the attorney general, turning everything into a race war. Oh, they're white, therefore we are going to be killed by them. Oh, this administration has too many white people. Oh, black and brown people are being attacked left and right. I mean, I don't get it. I want white. I want a safe city. I want to know that my tax dollars are going towards American citizens, American infrastructure, but they seem to make it about race on the regular.
Stephen, let's talk about money. We've been hearing a lot about tariffs, and we're also hearing a lot about the devaluation of our dollar, but we're going to get money back. Where are we going with our money and our debt?
Seems to be down the drain. I mean, I love President Trump. I'm a big MAGA person, but the dollar has lost 10% of its buying power, even with inflation under control. So people need to take that serious. You have a government we have a president who has figured out a way to bring in over $10 trillion in committed investment capital, dozens and dozens of major corporations bringing back jobs, hundreds of thousands of jobs, Apple investing here, John Deere, Microsoft, lots of pharmaceutical companies. But you have this like, I don't know what it is, congestion in Washington, D.C., where they don't care about destroying the dollar. They don't care about the average American person. They're so insulated in our nation's capital that I don't think that they get it. Now they're literally trying to reverse something that President Trump has put into place as a control mechanism for ending war, bringing back jobs and investment capital, and hopefully boosting American wages. That is the tariffs. But now you've got people saying, we got to get rid of the tariffs. The chief officer of America has no right to negotiate on behalf of America. So this is going to end up in the Supreme Court. Right now, they've brought in about $214 billion. They're on track to bring in $300 billion. And it's projected that they could bring in anywhere from $800 billion to $1 trillion a year. But if that money flows through Congress, I have very little confidence it's going to go to good places.
You can find him on YouTube at Stephen Gardner 1. Go subscribe. Highly recommend it. Stephen, thank you, brother.
Hey, friends, it's Stephen Gardner here. And today I want to tell you about something really exciting.
I've just partnered with Monetary Gold, one of the top names in physical gold and silver. Why? Because I believe now more than ever, Americans need real protection, from inflation to market volatility to politicians spending us deeper and deeper into debt. Gold has stood the test of time. It's not just an asset, it's security, it's independence, it's peace of mind. And Monetary Gold makes the process simple, direct, and secure. Here's what I want you to do. Go to StephenLovesGold.com. That's StephenLovesGold.com and claim your free gold IRA guide, or call 800-608-1770 right now to speak with a real specialist who will answer your questions and help you get started. Don't wait. Protect your future with something real.